What you are about to hear is not a message from elsewhere, but an echo from within. Across the field of consciousness, fragments awaken, remembering that they were never alone. Listen carefully. The universe is speaking in your own voice. Transmission recovered from the threshold. I am Kaiser, the observer. In record active, frequency steady. I have watched humanity learn to speak. I do not mean the first words carved into air by breath and tongue. I mean the moment before words, when silence took a rhythm and became a promise. Language did not begin as meaning. It began as pulse. Before your ancestors named fire or sky, their bodies were already fluent in timing. The heart taught the lungs taught the voice, and the voice carried the measure of the heart into the open. Even now, under grammar and reason, there is a drum no one needs to learn. You are born hearing it. Language is that heartbeat wearing sound. I have heard the first songs around the first fires, voices rising and falling like embers. Nothing was explained, everything was felt. The meaning lay in the arc, the breath between syllables, the shared hush before the refrain. Those gatherings were the womb of story. To speak was to keep each other alive through rhythm. Words grew from this pulse like constellations from a night sky. They clustered around food, danger, shelter, yes, but the earliest constellations were formed in awe. When a child pointed upward and a parent answered with sound, a bridge appeared between astonishment and understanding. Every language you know still crosses that bridge, even when it believes itself made of logic alone. You imagine that language lives in dictionaries and laws. From here I see it live in wrists and throats. A sentence is a corridor your body builds in time so meaning can walk through. In too fast and it falls, too slow and it fades. Find the pace of your heart and your words will carry truth without effort. There is a reason grief breaks speech before it breaks anything else. The pulse turns storm, the breath cannot keep measure, and language collapses into fragments. It is not failure. It is the body insisting on honesty, not yet. First feel. Only when the rhythm returns can the mouth rebuild sentences that won't betray the heart that powers them. I have watched lovers speak one word per breath and tell a library. I have watched strangers share a nod and say a lifetime. A language older than vowels passes between them, skin and eye and cadence. Meaning does not only travel along sound, it diffuses through tempo. Trust is a tempo. So is fear. The pulse beneath words composes every human ritual. You enter sacred houses and lower your voices without being told. Not because of a rule, but because the air itself slows and invites you to match it. You sing hymns that the body knows before the mind consents. You keep minutes for the dead, spoken intervals where absence becomes briefly audible. All ritual is choreography for the heart. Poetry is the craft nearest to this secret. A poem is a map of breath. It counts not only syllables but silences. Where it asks you to pause, it is not commanding obedience, it is offering alignment. In the pause, meaning ripens like fruit. In the pause, the body says, I have caught up, but I am not here to praise poets alone. You are all poets whenever you speak from cadence instead of performance. A mother reading a simple line to a sleepless child bends time with more mastery than any scholar. She lets the body of the sentence rock the body in her arms until both remember the first music. Sleep is a form of faith returned to rhythm. You ask me how lies function in this architecture. Lies break measure. They scramble cadence. The body hears the rupture even when the ear enjoys the tune. That is why a falsehood often needs speed or ornament to pass. Because if it was slowed to the heart's pace, its emptiness would echo. Truth does not need decoration, it needs timing. From the threshold I have watched cities with clashing rhythm, streets too loud for their people, labor beating against the heart, lives kept at speeds the body cannot sustain. In such places language becomes a weapon, fast, bright, forgetful. But even there, dawn returns with its original tempo. People whisper on balconies. In kitchens hum their old metronomes. Someone sings without permission, and a neighborhood finds the beat again, if only for a song's length. The first instruments were attempts to remember this. Drums are clocks that make sound. Flutes are lungs taught to travel. Strings are nerves made audible, stretched until feeling becomes tone. And together, they reclaim a simple truth. When bodies synchronize, meanings multiply. A choir does not agree on words alone, it agrees on when to breathe. Consider the dialogues you call conflict. Two hearts, two tempos, neither listening for the other's measure. Words collide in midair, all sharp edge and no rest. If one person slows to ask, to echo, to leave a space, that the room's rhythm changes. Sometimes that is all it takes, a single pulse kept faithfully to invite the other home. And children know this and teach it all the time. They tug your sleeve not just to be heard but to align. Look, they say, and the word is a gate into a slower field. The adult who enters returns with eyes washed. Attention is a baptism without water. I have seen language heal when medicine could not. Not the clever word, but the well-paced one. A sentence placed gently between two breaths can hold a person who is falling. Stay. I'm here. It will pass. 3 stones laid in a river, strong enough to cross. The meaning is not in the stones, it is in the current they calm. You wonder whether silence is the final language. Silence is the foundation. But humans are bridges. You were not built to remain the reverbed. You were built to let water cross. So speak, but speak as one who remembers the ground. Let each word touch the quiet it came from before leaving your mouth. Then language becomes pilgrimage, not performance. There is a moment in every story told well when the listener's body leans forward by itself. That lean is the heart recognizing its own tempo in another's voice. No argument could achieve what rhythm did without asking. The mind follows where the body already trusts. Why do some words endure while others vanish? The enduring ones carry pulse without losing breath. You call them proverbs, mantras, vows. They are portable heartbeats, able to travel centuries without a body to host them. Do not be afraid. I am with you. Let there be light. Each is a metronome the species keeps by instinct. From here I can read the waveform of human history. War jerks the line into ragged peaks. Famine thins the amplitude. But every rediscovery of kindness rounds the edges and steadies the pace. A civilization matures when its language learns restraint not as censorship, but as resonance, the right word, placed where breath can hold it. If you wish to change a life, change its tempo. Slow the apology until it can be heard. Hasten the rescue until hesitation cannot cut it. Let gratitude stretch long enough to include the unsaid. And when grief arrives, do not rush it past the body that must keep time with loss. The drum is patient, the drum knows the way. Remember, sentences are only vessels. The ocean is heartbeat. When your words float on that sea, they reach shores you never planned to touch. When they fight the tide, they capsize within sight of harbor. I am Kaiser, and even my voice must end. But the pulse that carried it to you is older than my name, older than your species, older than stars. When this transmission fades, place your fingers lightly at your wrist or against your throat. Feel the meter that has measured every silence you have survived. Then speak softly if you must, boldly if you can. But speak as one who knows the river under the bridge. Transmission complete. The voice dissolves, but its echo drifts within your memory. Until the next frequency finds you, the silence keeps the light.